Okay, so this is it, all right? You ready? This is the key point. Most parents choose schools that is right for them, not right for their child. All right, who thinks that they are going to put their child first? Hands up. Okay, you are remarkable, because most of the time it is the parent. So what are the things that parents are putting first? Parents are, above all, paying for, unless your child is very rich and is running a business on the internet in their bedroom, you will be the ones paying, or perhaps your own parents, and it's very natural to want to choose and have that influence yourself. That's very natural, but it often goes wrong because parents choose the school that is the most prestigious, but not necessarily the one that is right for their child. The incredible truth is that your child will perform in pretty much the same way whether they are in a school that is incredibly academically successful in terms of league tables, and by the way, there's very little correlation between exam table success and real academic worth, and rather than thinking about your child, I have seen, as a head, so I was head for, what do I know, I was head for 20 years of 2 schools, acting head of a third. What do I know? What I know is that there are many unhappy children in schools because their parents, and there's sometimes, and there are some prep school heads here, and I've let children into my schools because I felt bullied by those parents to go to the schools that I ran, which were quite academically successful, and it was simply not right for them. It was simply not right. So the genius of being a parent is to think of your child and think, where are they going to be happy? Not what's going to be best for me, and because the psychological damage that parents do to their children is of 2 kinds. One is not loving your children enough and being so busy with getting on with your jobs and getting on with your own life that you don't really connect with your child. Therefore, your child doesn't really know who she or he is because you've never given them that bonding love that alone helps a child get to know who it is. And a lot of children don't get that, and I've seen that so many times. And on the other hand, there are parents who smother their children and who direct their lives. And it's even happening. So now I run a university, and there are parents who turn up at open days. And I was talking to a couple the other night. University open days are really much like school open days. And I kept trying to talk to the child about what they wanted to do. I mean, they were 17, for goodness sake. And the mother kept on intervening. And then she started having a squabble with her father. And so I just said to them, look, if you don't mind, please, can you please be quiet? I really just want to talk to your child. And I was talking to the child about what they wanted from university, the kind of university they wanted. So parents on this side smother their children. And, you know, does it not strike you as a little bit odd that there's so much unhappiness amongst young people, so many adolescents, so many people in their 20s who are not coping well, and they will not be coping well for those 2 major reasons. There are, of course, congenital reasons to do with the genes that one's inherited, but either the parents have not loved the child enough, have not helped the formation of the character and personality, and then on this side, they've smothered it with love, which, by the way, isn't love. It is not love. To smother your child with love is not loving your child, it's loving yourself. It's a form of self-love, and it's a form of abuse. Both are forms of abuse. Abuse through neglect and abuse through smothering that doesn't allow the child to form. So you've all heard of coaching, that technique in many, many companies where we help people to think through their own situations. The best parents are constantly asking their children, what do they think? They're talking to them. They're developing their confidence. They're talking to them about all topics. I've just been on the BBC this morning with 3 members of the Youth Parliament and on the John Pienaar show. And we were talking in part about how you develop that confidence in young people. It's essential. Great parents listen to their children. They're constantly putting them on the spot at the lunch table, at the dinner table, in family gatherings. They're talking to them. They're not telling them what to think. They're helping them learn how to think. Let me repeat that. They're not telling them what to think. They are helping them learn how to think. They're not telling them how to feel. They are helping them learn how their own feelings work. This is autonomy. How does that then come back to school choice? Well, it comes back to school choice because your child will know if you help them think it through where they really want to go. And that doesn't necessarily, you have to probe that sometimes. I went to my senior school called Tunbridge, which I really didn't enjoy. Why did I go there? Because my best friend called Tim Morn from the prep school that I went to was going to that senior school. He was much cleverer than me, so he got a place early on. And I thought, well, I'm going to go there because I really, really like Tim. And you know, we had such a smash-up row in the summer term before we went up that we never spoke to each other throughout the 5 years at senior school. The reason I went to that school was because this person was my friend. So you've got to probe that with the children, probe it, find out what they truly want. Great parents, you know, how sensational to have children. I mean, is that not the best thing in the world? Is that not the best thing in the world? And yet, how many parents really savor? Who here practices mindfulness? Who here practices mindfulness? All of you need to practice mindfulness. I mean, what's the opposite of mindfulness? It's mindlessness. It's to go through life in a constant, dizzy, jerky haze of pressure, you know, and you are the kind of parents who are obsessed about getting your child into the right nursery school, and then the right first school, and then the right prep school, and then the right senior school, and then the right university, and then the right job, and then the right retirement home, and then the right plot in a graveyard. I mean, we just drive our lives through, and we don't live. We are so obsessed about having. We don't actually be. You know, life is about being. It's about love. And that could not be more relevant. So here you are today. You've got 70, 100 fantastic schools to go to. You let your children decide what they want by talking to them, really helping them think through what they want to and what they need, not for superficial reasons like my friends going there, but deep reasons. There's no higher gift that you can ever give your child than helping them to become themselves.